Let's suppose you had an online shop for striped socks, like Happy Socks does. And you'd need to sell these in France too, but currently your content is all English. And you would like to have those translated. And you choose to have it translated by humans. So how much would you pay a professional translator to, translate those product descriptions? I'd like you to show me your hands. Now, who would pay them 10 cents or less per word? Can you show me your hands? Yeah, euro cents. Okay, who would pay 20 cents, around that? Okay, and who would pay 30 cents per word or more? Don't be so shy. Okay, it's not going to make me so happy. And who wouldn't pay them per word and at all, but per hour or per day? Okay, I was about to cry. Thanks. Yeah, so I'll come back to that question later. Just keep in mind what you showed your hands for. We'll see if that changed. So why should you worry about translation as an SEO person? This is my brain. Well, it's not my brain, but it's a brain, an MRI scan of a brain. And the red area you can see here is the caudate nucleus. It's activated when making decisions, and that was pretty much activated when I decided to do the presentation about translation instead of proper, technical SEO. I consulted big clients with internationalization, and most of the time they were e-commerce, like online shops, and they wanted me to help them rank better abroad. And we already had fixed all technical issues, and they were wondering why aren't we doing good in any of the other markets like France, Spain, etc. And often bad content due to automated translation was the issue. So I'm sorry for asking you to show me your hands again, but I need some feedback again. I'm going to show you a few statements about should I put this? What makes good content good? What makes good content of high quality? So first statement, good content contains relevant keywords. Can you show me your hands if you agree? Okay. Good content must be holistic. That means cover tons of side topics, therefore being long. Think Wikipedia. Who agrees there? Is that high quality content? Well, yeah, okay. Wow. And good content must satisfy user intent. Who agrees with that one? Yeah, okay. There you go. Just give me a second. Is that slide 11? Sorry. Yeah, okay. It is. Well, let's suppose, again, you wanted to sell striped socks. And content on the product detail page contains keywords that do not really match striped socks. Let's say New York cheesecake recipe. Would that satisfy user intent? What do you think? Would that satisfy user intent? Well, it depends, though. If the socks show images of, New York cheesecake, it might. But, yeah, that's the issue. Why am I saying this? Translation often means, you produce content. But it also involves some kind of content management because you often have a high volume of pages that need to be translated. And that's when clients try to save some money by automated translation. Who might have a high demand in content? Well, that might be news sites, sites that have a high turnover of content, that a lot of fresh new stuff coming in, like football news, and they might need translation, and something could be scaled easily. Anyone with a high amount of user-generated content, such as allrecipes.com, let's say they consider diving into a new market like France. They won't have any user-generated content, so they might want to, in order to, encourage people to publish their recipes there. You won't start at a site that's basically empty, so you have to have some stuff translated. And then, of course, we already have that example, online shops with a lot of products or high product fluctuation. During the course of this presentation, I'll first briefly explain differences between human and machine translation, and then show you what you can do as a company with a lot of pages, a lot of content that needs to be translated, and also how to understand translators' calculations. Who of you has got visitors from abroad? Can you show me your hands again? It's probably the last time I ask you, sorry. Okay, yeah, so that's some people. So let's just briefly go into what is translation. This should be a video, but I'm not sure how to play it. Let's quickly see. It's not really working. Doesn't matter. You can't probably see it, but does any one of you remember Google Beatbox? Or Google Translate Beatbox? Yeah, so it's no longer working that way, but basically you could put in, it worked pretty well with German or Czech. So you could put in a lot of consonants here, only consonants, that's important. And then you set it to German or Czech, and then you can have Google read it out to you. There was like a microphone, and you can have it read it out to you. And that was like a pretty amazing, beatbox. It really sounded like a proper beatbox. Nowadays it's not working any longer that way, but in your opinion, would that be translation? Or let's see that text. Do you understand what kind of economics this text is talking about? That's Google Translate. Is that text more understandable to you? Like there are different types of economics, but do you really know what it is about? That's Google Translate from 2018. So it has improved, but it's still not really understandable. What it actually was, that's a Google Translate, translation, a Wikipedia article, a German Wikipedia article about macroeconomics. Okay, we Germans are a bit nasty. Like, we like to be very precise. We basically got a different word for every type of knife there is. Just let that sink in for a minute before you ask questions later. Yeah, and so we do for economics as well. Like, we're super precise. And that is like, well, an issue for translators anyway. It gives them a bad headache. I know what I'm speaking about, but it's also headaches for Google Translate. Yet all of those were translations. Like, translation is not only you put words in, you get bad words out. Like, you can even call something, let's say you have a sound file, but the next file you create when translating it into another language is a video file. That also is translation if you change the format. So basically what translation is, you have a set of meaning. Of course you use words to transport that meaning, but you have a set of meaning and you transport it into the same meaning in another language. And you use words, of course, but it's very important to keep in mind it's about the meaning. It's not about you have 200 words, you put them in, and you get like 200 words or a bit more out in another language. That's not how it works. It's not word by word. And this is important to understand because this is where machines often still fail. Because for meaning and transporting it, you need context. And machines are not so good yet at understanding context. I'll show you the current state of machine translation. So what I often get by clients is, well, we could just have everything Google translated and then you proofread it, right? That should be working. That should be like cheap. And what could possibly go wrong? Well, let me show you. This is another Google Translate gem. So do you understand that sentence? Does that make sense to you? To who of you does it make sense? Yeah, it doesn't either to me. But that's the most current version of Google Translate. This is a German sentence. And it actually means this. They also like to serve here. What I did here is I compared Google Translate and DeepL, another translator. I don't know if you know DeepL. In case you don't, it's basically, let's say, a more sophisticated, in many ways, it's more sophisticated than Google Translate. I don't know if you know that service. There's a service called Lengui. And what they do, when you look up a word, they show you two versions they found on websites that have already been translated, trusted websites, such as websites from the EU. And then you have those two versions, so it doesn't tell you this is the way to translate, but it shows you the context. You get the context. You get, oh, this word has appeared in this website on this paragraph, and that's the paragraph where they have it translated. So you can decide whether or not that fits to your content. That makes a lot of sense. And DeepL is more or less based on this, so which is why sometimes it's much more accurate, but not all the time.